Hi everyone, it's Marianne, and for today's video, I'm going to share with you my tips on moving your plants. Thank you so much for joining me today. So if you're a plant parent, one of the stressful parts of moving, not that moving is already very stressful in of itself, it's how we're going to move our plants, especially if we have a lot of them. So I'm going to share with you my tips on things that I learned when moving my plants from my old place to my new place, and hopefully that would help some of you. And these tips largely apply for those who are practically moving maybe in the same area or within driving distance. I don't know if these tips are going to apply if you're like moving across country or moving internationally. I think that's a whole different story. But if you're just like moving to the same city or maybe just across the state, then these tips might apply to you. And I also kind of want to wrap up my moving vlog series by showing you what I did to the living room / my office area and to my bedroom, which initially I thought I was going to do separate vlogs for, but these are the parts of the apartment. And mind you, this is not a very large apartment, but these are parts of the apartment that I really want to take time in decorating and designing because I have a certain like aesthetic or vision in mind. But for now, I'm going to like share with you the latest update and the choices that I made in the living room and the bedroom to make it fit and function for me for now. But mostly this would cover me moving in my plants. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Marianne. Welcome to my Wasteless Life, where I take you along my houseplant and sustainable lifestyle journey and share with you some of my tips and tricks along the way. I also share personal and travel vlogs here and there. So if that type of content interests you, make sure to subscribe to my channel before the end of this video and make sure to like and comment down below. I would love to hear from you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. First tip I want to share when it comes to moving your plants into a new place is first, downsize. So this is going to take some preparation and work before you actually move, at least a month, I would say. I was able to do it within like 2 weeks because I was in an emergency situation, but ideally you'll want at least like a month ahead before you move to really decide on which plants are you going to take with you, which plants are going to sell, and you're going to give away, because trust me, that would make your moving process a lot better. If you are selling your plants, you could earn a little bit of money to help you with your moving costs. And honestly, selling my plants did a lot in helping me financially when it comes to moving into my new place. Second tip is to make sure to move your plants in the last. And I know that might not be always logistically possible because most people probably only have 1 day to move. I was lucky enough that I had like several days to move, and also I was able to leave my plants back in my old place and just like slowly move them in here. But the reason you want to move in your plants last, because one, you want to get them out of the storage right away, whether you put them in boxes or however you were going to transport it, which we're going to talk about later. Because if you're too busy moving and unpacking everything else, your houseplants will most likely get neglected and they won't get the light and even the watering that they need when you move them in first. And third tip is to do your plant care before you actually pack them up to move. And this is important because, again, even if you move them in last, you might not be able to take care of them right away or get back to your plant routine right away. So if you didn't water them or kind of like make sure they didn't have pests before you move them in, that might be an issue and a bigger problem for you to deal with once you move them to a new place. And you might think that you'll be able to water them right away when you move into your new place. That might not be the case as well. So just make sure that they're already watered before you move them into your new place. Hi everyone, it's Marianne. So today we're back in my old room and I'm going to be bringing my plants into my new place. Originally, I planned to keep them up until the end of the month just because they are getting more light here. Plus, I don't want to do the whole moving thing over the winter, but I do have a couple of commitments with brands to do videos and I need my plants for it. But I also don't think they're doing well here. So just because they're not getting the attention that they need, that they usually get from me. So I'm just going to bring them with me. And it's not much. After I sold quite a bunch of my plants, there's not really much left, at least with this group of plants. I still have like my large floor plants that I'm probably going to still keep here up until the weather gets nicer. But like with this one, I am moving to the new place today, or at least as many of them as I can today. But before I do that, I am going to water them here. Like I see some that still has mealybugs, so I'm going to treat them. I don't want a new place because it might get messy. I'd rather do it here. It's a little bit more convenient. Let me take all of these plants in the bathtub and this one's, and we're just gonna like wash and treat them over there. So I've been taking them one by one in the bathroom because some of them are infected with mealybugs, some don't. So I'm just like trying to treat them one by one so I could like make sure they don't cause contaminate anymore. And I'm very hesitant to bring them into my house with bugs, but I might not have a choice for some of them. I've watered those. Those had a little bit of mealybugs in it. And this one I'm not taking home yet, but I just need to water them. And this one, I cut out the top, the cell, but there's like a new growth point here already. And another one here. And so that's fascinating. And yes, I'm gonna water it now. Syngonium elbow, I took a lot of cuttings from this cells, so it's not looking too hot right now, but she will bounce back and I'm gonna go water her. This probably also needs to be repotted in a more stable pot, so I'm gonna do that really soon. So here's another two plants that I did make cuttings from. Like this one is already showing new growth, and this one as well. And this one not yet, but that's okay because not looking to extend the pole anytime soon. All right, I'm gonna water them too. And here's my pinatum elbow, and ever since like I kind of like sort of separated it from the Epipenum pinatum aurea, it no longer has mealybugs. So the real culprit was really the aurea. So I'm glad I separated them now. And this one I'm bringing home because I think this is the one that I'm going to use for the video. So here are the plants. I'm going to let it drain while I go get a car wash. But I think I'm bringing all of this. We will see. I might not bring the Syndapsus and the Silver Lady yet, but I might. We will see. Basically, the greenhouse and everything in it, I'm bringing this. I'm not, but I am bringing the table because I need it, plus the grow lights that are underneath it. I cut a lot of the Cebu pothos. I don't know if I'm going to propagate it. We will see. But here is the Manjula and the Cebu pothos. I am leaving it here for the meantime too. I'm not bringing it with me yet. And these are all the plants that I'm also bringing. I am not sure if I'm bringing the Thigh Constellation Monstera with me. I'm just like worried it's not going to do well there because the heater is very high in my place and the air is very dry. I am bringing the humidifier with me, but it might not be enough for all of my plants. So we will see. But yes, I'm going to go get a car wash and then I'm going to pack the car with the plants. From the car wash, and since I only want to make one trip, so I'm only bringing plants that I could fit in the car, and the rest are probably going to stay here and just gonna come back for them another day. Okay, so I'm still leaving this behind along with the Manjula and the Cebu Blue and the greenhouse. I thought I'm going to be able to take that with me, but it's not going to fit in my car. I just want to make a one trip, and this table I'm also just going to come back in 2 days, so it's not that bad, along with the Thigh Constellation Monstera. And I was kind of like going to do a trial run with the plants that I'm bringing. So if I lose those, it's not too bad. But these ones are kind of like my top 10 plants, or I think they are in the list of the plants that I'm taking in case of emergency. Some of them aren't, but it's just like, well, it just was a matter of space too. That's why I didn't make the cut today. But yeah, so. Next step is when you're packing them, you can pack them in boxes, but I recommend using those plastic storage boxes because they're a little bit sturdier and your plants can get heavy as you pack them in a box. So a cardboard box might not suffice and you might end up accidentally dropping them or the box breaking when you put too much plants in a box. So I do recommend using like plastic containers, like sturdy ones, to move them and pack them as tightly as you can so that they don't move around a lot in the storage box. And once you put them in your vehicle or in your U-Haul, also make sure that the vehicle is tightly packed so when you're driving and make turns, they also don't just like slide around in your vehicle because that could also cause plant damage very easily. And when you are driving, or if you have someone driving the car for you that's moving your plants, Just make sure they are driving carefully, you are driving carefully, because you want steady movement as much as possible so that you don't cause any breakage in your houseplants, especially for your large plants like your floor plants or anything that has like large foliage. So I did all those things during the first time I moved the first batch of my houseplants. The second time I thought, you know what, I can get away with just putting them in the back seat. They would be fine. It's a 10-minute drive from my old place to my new place. When I brought them here, the soil spilled all over the carpet in the back. So even though if you think it's just gonna be like a couple of plants, you could put them in the back seat, they'll be fine. No, they won't. It's just going to be like a bigger mess and a lot more work to do later on. So just make sure you follow the tips that I mentioned earlier so that the moving of your plants is as smooth as possible and less work as much as possible. The previous weekend, I went to check on the rest of my plants that I still have left, including this Thicon, which is pushing out a new leaf. And also this Varicosum, as you have seen in earlier clips, it had like 2 couple of growth points and now it has grown so big. So I am really happy for them, which is why I also decided to keep them in the old place so that they're getting the amount of light that they're getting that they're not going to get in my new place. These 2 plants still has mealybug infestation, especially the Shangri-La pothos, so they are remaining there, along with the Manjula pothos, which is also infested with mealybugs. And honestly, it's getting worse, not better, with the mealybug infestation along with the Cebu blue pothos, but it isn't as bad as the Manjula pothos. So they're staying here until they fully clear up. And then when it comes to my terrarium mini greenhouse, I have only 3 plants left there, the crystallinum, the begonia, and the dragon fruit. The crystallinum is also infested with scales, so that's why it had to stay. But I'm bringing the rest with me, which is the El Choco Red, the Hoya compacta variegata, the Cartesii, and the Silver Glory. And once you have brought them to your new place, it's very important to like unpack them right away and have a space delegated to them. You don't have to like put them in their permanent space right away, but just have a space delegated to them at first. You can keep them in the storage box as long as it's like an open box, but you need to put them in a place where it can get ample light and humidity and also the right kind of temperature. And if you have them, I suggest like setting up your indoor greenhouse or grow tent first so that you could put the plants that you moved in and let them acclimate there while you like do all your move-in stuff. In my case, I already took out my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, so I did have that, but I did receive a grow tent from a brand. So a lot of the plants that I considered my finicky plants, I put in there. And that's also like another tip. If you are making multiple trips and moving your plants, do the first batch with your plants that are the lowest maintenance and see how they adjust to your new space. And second, those less finicky and those low maintenance plants are easier to have in your space while you're still like in the moving in frenzy, because they can just be delegated into a place, maybe even not the most ideal place, but they're gonna be fine. Like those plants are very resilient, so you don't have to like pay them a lot of attention while you're busy moving in, and also they don't require that much care right away. With your finicky plants, I do highly recommend having an indoor greenhouse or some type of grow tent or even like large pot boxes where you could keep them for the meantime and still get like access to good light so that you don't have to worry about them while you're like busy moving in. Like in my situation, I moved in like the middle of winter, like 1st of February. So it's still really cold, and even though I have a backyard, I can't really put my plants out yet. But if you are able to put out your plants at least during the day, then put them out there while you like figure out everything else inside your house. Or even if you just like have a balcony where they can get fresh air and access to light, so you don't have to worry about like setting up your grow lights right away, then that would be great as well for your plants. It's just going to help them transition into your new space and just make sure that they are not experiencing a lot of shock when it comes to their change of environment. Moving into this new space, I don't want plant clutter anymore. I really just want it to be part of the decor and not take up space that I wouldn't normally regulate for plants. Because back in the old place, I pretty much just have my bedroom and some parts of the living room to put my plants in. So they're just relegated to like a certain corner or like a certain wall where they're just all cluttered there. And sometimes that works. Oftentimes, to be honest, it didn't really work. And I just wished I had like proper places for my plants. But since I slashed my plant collection into half, The plants that I'm bringing in here or have brought in here have like their own specific spaces without really taking up space from other stuff that needs it. And that's very important, especially since this is a small apartment. So if you watch my kitchen moving vlog, you know that I put grow lights on top of here. So it's really nice that I will get lighting for my kitchenette and also grow lights for the plants that I can put on top of the shelf. So here I have my jade satin syndapsis, my Hoya tricolor, and then I have my Hoya carrii. I got this one at Goodwill, and it's originally from Target for like $5, and I got it for like $3 at Goodwill. But when I tried to look at the Target website to see if I can get some more, because I kind of want like 4 or 6 of them, it's over $15 each now. And I've always kind of wanted a honeycomb shelf, like the ones that I saw from Minimalist Cali had. I really wanted that, but honeycomb shelves can be expensive, so I'm trying to not spend a lot of money. So I'm hoping to find some more at Goodwill. And I know that's not properly stable, but like I said, until I get the number of honeycomb shelves that I want, I'm not going to be like trying to permanently put hooks on the wall, because again, this is a rental and technically I'm not even really supposed to like make any holes in it, but we'll deal with that later. And I also moved this table. If you remember, this is where I put most of my plants. I have the grow lights here. I have plants under. That is not my plan for this anymore. Right now it serves as kind of like my coffee bar. I usually have my kettle and my coffee stuff in here, but right now I just have my humidifier, which is from Bear. I'll link it down in the description as well. But this was also sent to me by the company, and I really like it, especially if you want something that is small, compact, and affordable, and you don't really need or want a very fancy humidifier for your plants. I'd say go with this one. I really like it so far. And this one, I basically just DIY'd from a floor lamp that I previously had, and I just like took out everything, hang it upside down on a ceiling hook, and then just like try to run the wiring on the corner as best as I can. It doesn't look that great right now. It's a DIY project that's still ongoing. I'm looking for like a basket. I went to Goodwill. I couldn't really find one. So I want to see if I can find one thrifted that I could use as a lampshade for this one, or it's like a pendant cover for that grow light. And this is where I will eventually put my fiddle fig in. But right now I'm putting my Monstera deliciosa on this corner. And also by putting a plant here, it covers that cable stuff at least as much as possible, which I'm still like trying to figure out how to like create a solution for that and make it like more organized, because I don't like it exposed like that. But yeah, so that is the Monstera deliciosa on that corner. And here I have my one window in this living room, aside from the French doors that is south facing. This one is west facing, and I do put plants on the windowsills at times, but right now all of those plants are in the grow tent. So right now what I'm just putting is my string of hearts variegated. One good thing that I learned in this like moving process is how to keep my work desk minimal, because if you remember, that was always cluttered no matter what. But now I learned to just like keep it just my computer and just like a small organizer that has like my SD cards in it. And I'm gonna put my Taniki on this side and then put the autograph plant in here. Sometimes I put it up in here as well so that it will get a little bit more light, but for now I'm just gonna put it over here. So last place I'm putting plants is on top of this fireplace. As you can see, it's like funkily shaped. It has that like corner over there and like 2 triangles on top of it as a mantle. So I'm putting 2 plants on either side of that. So while that Monstera deliciosa gets light from the west-facing window, that Syndapsis doesn't really get a lot of light, especially on gloomy days. But I have a solution for that. And this one's from Sensi. They did send it to me in exchange for me talking about it in this video, but this is not a sponsored video by them. I like it because it's a little bit more aesthetic than the traditional grow light. You can stick it to any plant and it is height adjustable. It also has a timer. It also has different light settings. So that's how I provide light for any plant that I would put in here. Currently, this Indapsus Moonlight. So if you're looking for like a grow light for your plants that's a little bit more aesthetic, then I'll look into getting this one. I'll have the link down in the description as well. And I also plan to put like a plant in here, like another floor plant, but not like a tall one, just like on the level of the fireplace, so that it won't only cover the wiring, but it will also be getting light from that grow light. So after I set up my kitchen and my bathroom, I focus on the living room area and the bedroom. So funny thing, because now I have like my own living area, even though this is small, I find myself spending a lot of time in here. And like in my old place, the bedroom is pretty much my sanctuary, and I spend a lot of my time in my bedroom. That's where I like to do my work, where I film my videos, where I sleep. That's where I hang out most of the time. But in here, now that I have my own apartment, I spend most of my time in here in the living room. And in the bedroom, what I do is really just sleep. But the first day that I moved in here, the first thing that I did was like set up the bed frame and then set up my bed. And the bed frame I got from Home Depot. It was on sale for like $80, which was a steal because it was, I think, originally $200. But then when I opened it up, it didn't have any hardware at all. So I called Home Depot, and at first they want me to like return it, but I'm like, I need a bed tonight. So what they did is they just like partially refunded me the cost of the bed frame. So it was like discounted even more so that it would cover the price of the hardware that I would need to buy to actually build it. So I was able to do that. I set up the bed frame, and then the bed I got from Walmart. It is Cocoon by Sealy, a queen size bed, and honestly, invest in your bed. Like that is probably the most expensive thing that I bought for this apartment, and the first thing that I bought for this apartment, and it's just really a good investment to have a really good bed because I always had lower back pain. I mean, I still do now, but it wasn't as bad as before. And I think it's really attributed largely to the bed because I love that bed, and I was able to get it on sale too from Walmart. I think it was almost like 50% off. And the thing, so the time that I moved is when the mattress sales were also going on. So it was like, among all other things that was happening, at least that was like a good and lucky coincidence that I was able to afford a mattress, because if it happened any time of the year, I probably wouldn't be able to have bought that mattress. So for the bedroom, that's really pretty much all I did, is get the bed and didn't do anything else. Comforter set is from Bedsure. It was sent to me by a brand a few weeks ago, like way before I knew I was moving, and I just, like you said, over here. And this is a queen size bed, but like I used to have a full size bed, but now like my pillows look so small, and I know I'm using wide angle, but my pillows look so small in comparison that it's not like balanced. So I'm gonna do something about that too. And the only addition that I did was that side table that I previously used as a plant stand, and that lamp, but it's really nothing else. And over here is part of my sister's sofa set that she doesn't use, and I tried to like make it into like my dog's new bed, but he doesn't really use it. He sleeps on the bed with me. I do have plans for this room, but over here I want to like create shelving, maybe like 2 or 3 floating shelves, and either put plants or decor or a combination of both. And with here, I'm not exactly what I want to do. I don't keep it open. Not that this is a high traffic area, but it is a basement unit, and I'm barely in this room. So I just want to make sure the windows are secure before I start opening it. And it is a north-facing window, so I don't really have use for the sunlight, at least as of yet. And as you can see, there are curtain rods. So I plan to at least put 2 hanging plants on each corner, like maybe the Manjula and the Cebu Blue Pothos is going to go there. I'm not sure if I'm going to put more plants on the windowsill. We will see. And I do plan to put the headboard in here. Like I have a DIY headboard that I saw on Pinterest that I think I want to recreate because it's cheaper for me to DIY it. And then side tables on both sides, and maybe put like 1 plant in here, like maybe my fiddle or my Audrey. The thing is, I don't know if it will do well in here. That's my only concern. So I might have to put another plant in there that if it dies, I'm okay with dying. But I'm not okay with the fiddle or the Audrey dying. So this is pretty much it, what I've done with the bedroom. So there's really not much to it. I have the grow tent placed in here because there's no other place to put it. And when it comes to the living room, I went to many like different iterations until I came up with this one and settled with this, at least for now. But the very first thing that I got for this place is this coffee table that I got from Facebook Marketplace. It was like being sold for like $35. I got it for $30. And what I like about it is it's solid wood, so it's not like IKEA wood. So it's a really good quality coffee table, and I got it like for $30. The wood color is a little bit darker than what I would like, so maybe that's something that I'm going to DIY and give it a lighter stain, but so far I like it as is. I might just keep it as is. And then I got this accent chair, this yellow one from a brand that I'm working with over at Amazon, and this is kind of like the first furniture that I got for this living room that is new. And originally I had a office desk that I got from Costco like maybe a year or two ago that I was using, but it was just like too much clutter in this living room. So I just took that out and just used the accent chair as my office chair, and so far it is working. The only thing that I don't like is it doesn't swivel, but I actually like that it's a rocking chair. So I just like rock the chair while I'm working, plus it matches the aesthetic. And the last thing that I got is this couch. This one's also from Walmart. I got it on sale. And originally I got the 2-seater because it was like on sale for $181. But when I received it and actually already assembled it, I saw on the Walmart website that they have a 3-seater on sale as well for just like $30 or $40 more. So I returned the 2-seater and got the 3-seater because with 3-seater I can actually lie down and stretch my legs. And that 15-inch added to the 3-seater made a whole lot of difference and can still fit the small area of this living room. And actually didn't have a couch for like almost a month. I was just like, again, using chairs and accent chairs that I borrowed from the old place. I brought it here, but I was like, I really need a couch, but couches are so expensive. And even the ones that I could get for like maybe under $500 was still like not the best quality. And I wasn't so sure about like spending that much money on a couch. But this one I saw on Walmart, it was on sale, and it was like their highest rated couch because it is sold and shipped by Walmart, which is an added bonus. That's why I was able to return the first one. So I felt a little bit more confident buying this, and it was just like a little over $200. So I feel like if it only lasts me a couple of years, then that's fine. I think that's money worth it. But so far it is working out well. I think it is pretty good quality for a $200 couch. And I think it's comparable to like the $400 or $500, even like $600 or $800 couches that I was looking at on Wayfair or on Overstock or even on Amazon. And then the relief and joy that I had when I was finally like sitting down on this couch for the first time, it was like, yeah, it was the right decision to buy this couch, and I'm glad that I did. And your eyes are not tricking you. It is the same couch. I just covered it with a throw. You might recognize this because I also had this in my old place, and I just want to keep it clean and new for as long as I can because again, it is a cheap couch, so I expect it to like deteriorate a lot quicker than more expensive and higher quality built couches.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
But yeah, so that's the update on my living room and my bedroom. I know it's still not much to look at, but as the weeks and months progress, I hope I'll be able to like add the stuff that I want to add, and hopefully by the end of the year I can show you like the whole entire design of the living room and the bedroom as I envision. And I do have an upcoming full apartment tour, so you're gonna get a lot more details of the apartment as a whole, and also like a full houseplant tour once I have like everything set up, maybe in like a month or so. So I'm really excited to share with you with that, but I hope you got a nice preview of my plans and like the setup of my bedroom and my living room in, I think, the last installment of the moving vlog series until the apartment and spring houseplant tour. And once again, if you're interested in any of the products or items that I mentioned in this video, they're listed in the video description down below. And also you would likely find them in my Amazon storefront if they are available on Amazon. And if you purchase any of those products using my affiliate link, I'll be entirely grateful because I do earn a small commission if you do make purchases through my affiliate link, and that will help me pay my bills. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please do subscribe. I come up with videos every week. And if you haven't yet, check out these videos up here until my next one. But until then, I see you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself and each other, and have a plantiful day. Bye.
Something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin.